Okay, I've reached a point where I've tightened up all the pan bolts, the torque bolts, to 8 foot-pounds all around. I've put the reinforcement bar back on, so that is 50 Newton meters. You're gonna have to tighten all 4 bolts, and now I am manually pumping the transmission fluid in into the pan until it starts to leak out or dribble out just a little bit, and then I'm going to plug it back up. Okay, so far I filled it up once. I let it pour out till it reached the top, and then I closed it up, the drain plug, turned on the car, let it idle for about 10-15 seconds. Then I went through the gears. The real gears are reverse and drive. So I went to reverse for 15-20 seconds. Then I went to drive for another 15-20 seconds. Then I went back to reverse for another 15 seconds, back to drive for another 15 seconds. Then I put the car in park, let it idle for about another 10-15 seconds. Then I shut off the vehicle and got back underneath the vehicle, removed the drain plug once again, filled up a little bit more. It literally took maybe a quarter of a bottle more. Then it started to fill out. I'll come back in a little bit and then I'll fill it up with the vehicle on, with the temperature between 35 degrees and 45 degrees Celsius. I'm doing a final transmission fill now, so the car's gonna go on. I'm gonna run it through the gears one more time. I am measuring the temperature. Once it gets to 35 degrees, the ideal situation is fluid flowing out of the fill hole, and I should let it go to about 40 degrees Celsius. As long as fluid is still coming out at that point, we are still okay, and we should consider that the transmission fill up is complete. So the car is at 21 degrees right now, and I filled it up just so it's jumping out, the oil. So I'm gonna wait till it gets to 25, and then at 30 it should be dribbling out as well. So by 40 and 35 it also should be doing the same thing. Temperature is at 32 right now. I know I said every 5, but I checked it about 3 ago. Okay, we have fluid coming out. I gave it a little mini pump, so I'm still close to the top. So the temperature's at 35 degrees right now, about 36, and the fluid is just coming out by itself, but it's just lots of dribbles. I'll give you a quick little view. So it's coming out by itself. I can even put some in and it might come out a little bit quicker, but this is what we're looking for at 35 to about another 10 degrees, 45 degrees Celsius. We want it to be coming out just like that. I didn't finish the last video of the final fill procedure to show it all pretty much happening at the end. So I ran out of fluid. I had to buy an extra 2 bottles. In the end, the vehicle took 7 liters of ATF fluid. I bought another one just in case I didn't want to run into the same problem. Everything worked well. I repeated the procedure again. I got the car to operating temperature, so about 43 to 45 degrees Celsius. The fluid was still dribbling out, and at that point, I put the fill plug back in, put the car down, took it for a spin, and the car drove really, really nicely. Smooth transmission shifts, no noises, putting it into park, reverse, neutral. Nothing sounded odd. It just sounded really, really good, really smooth. So I was happy overall with the whole service. The one thing I did notice is that the fluid was coming out darker than the golden color. I'm pretty sure this is because there's residual fluid in the torque converter. It was just mixing with the fresh fluid. Not a big deal. It's better to have the fresh fluid than the dark fluid that was initially in there. So all in all, I think it was a success. I was very happy with the service, and even up until now, the car is driving well and transmission shifts really, really smooth. So good luck with your service. Just take your time. And this is a long procedure to put transmission fluid into the Phaeton, especially a W12. But if you follow the procedures in the forums, you should be pretty good.